Either that, or maybe he's just trying his best to keep himself safe while at the same time trying to maintain control over this Georgia election interference case. So Judge Scott McAfee, he's already faced criticism for not removing both DA Fani Willis and prosecutor Nathan Wade from the case, even though he himself had already said he admitted that there was an odor of mendacity that needed to be removed. So he basically still chose to only have one of the two relinquish their position from this particular case, right? And so, as we all know, Nathan Wade, he was the one that basically took one for the team. He handed in a letter of resignation a few hours after Judge Scott McAfee's ruling. What's going on, guys? I see you guys here in the live. John Gardner in here. We got more here. All right. So the most recent ruling that we're going to talk about now, that we're going to talk about today, is related to the freedom of speech. Okay. So Donald Trump's legal team is a beast. Let me know if you guys think that if you guys think that Donald Trump's legal team is really strong. I mean, these guys, they're amazing, right? So Donald Trump's legal team, they've tried to have this case dismissed based on free speech grounds, basically saying that the former president had every right to say what was on his mind. Judge Scott McAfee, well, he went ahead and rejected Donald Trump's claims and continued to uphold the criminal indictment against him. Now, a lot of people are saying that this is a big, huge fail for justice here in America. What do you guys think about that? But here's one where it's alleged that the former president tried to overturn the 2020 presidential elections. Take a listen to this here. This is critical.
We watched a hearing in Fulton County, Georgia, just about a week ago, and Trump's lawyers argued strenuously that this entire case should be thrown out because, in his argument, that the political speech and that the claims about voter fraud that Trump was pushing after the 2020 election are protected by the First Amendment. Now, the judge today roundly rejecting that argument, as we've seen him do multiple other times in this case for other defendants in Georgia, saying, look, quote, the defense has not presented, nor is the court able to find any authority that the speech and conduct alleged is protected political speech. He goes on to say that this argument is one that should be heard by a jury, not one that should be decided during pre-trial motions. That was the argument that prosecutors in Georgia made about a week ago in court before Judge McAfee. So this is just an example of this case in Georgia inching towards a potential trial. We know that the DA there has asked for a trial to start on August 5th, but Judge McAfee has not put a start date on the calendar yet. That really is the big thing we're looking for. But again, the judge continuing to work through these pretrial motions in Georgia, continuing to work toward and address these issues that have to be addressed before a trial can take place.
And Zach, Judge McAfee is not the first judge to make a ruling like this related to Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election being related to the First Amendment. Judge Tanya Chutkan also rejected that argument from Trump's attorneys in the federal case against him for election subversion. I'm wondering, have you heard anything from Trump's Georgia attorneys about this decision, how they plan to proceed?
Steve Sadow.
Trump's lead attorney in Georgia, Steve Sadow, has immediately declined to comment on this ruling. I'm sure we'll hear from him eventually because he did push, and he was the main person, the main defense attorney arguing this in court when we saw this hearing take place just about a week ago. And look, Steve Sadow has filed several similar motions to try to get this case thrown out before a trial even happens. Obviously, Trump is fighting multiple legal fronts, as you mentioned. He tried the same argument in his federal case with Judge Tanya Chutkan, who similarly rejected the First Amendment arguments. And when we saw the hearing take place in Georgia, prosecutors referenced Chutkan's ruling on this First Amendment issue too. And like I mentioned earlier, this is a similar argument that some of Trump's co-defendants in Georgia have also tried to make, and was also rejected by Scott McAfee. So we're going to have to see. There's other attempts and unaddressed attempts and motions on the table still to try to get this case dismissed. But for now, the case and the indictment against Trump in Georgia remains intact.
Wow. So it's like a concerted effort to basically to side swing on Donald Trump here. So I want to ask you guys, and I see a lot of you guys hit me up in the comment section. I hope you guys are doing well this evening. I see a lot of you. Hey, if you haven't already, do hit the like button for the video. Definitely, I want to thank you guys always for sharing these videos on Facebook and sharing these videos on Twitter. And let me know where you guys are watching from. My question for you guys is, does this make Scott McAfee look weak? Does this make Judge Scott McAfee look weak? Now, Some people are saying yes, although it's probably because of one thing. Judge Scott McAfee probably wants to be safe for his reelection this year. Now, this could all boil down to the judge just being a little bit selfish and looking out for himself here. What do you guys think? Now, we know that Donald Trump questioned the results of the 2020 presidential elections. There's no arguing there, right? But is he alone in questioning the results of a presidential election? What's wrong with that? How is that illegal, right? And I'm sure you guys have heard of this woman. What is her name? I don't know. What's her name? Hilary Clinton? You may have heard of her once or twice, right? Well, Hilary Clinton lost the 2016 presidential election to guess who? Donald Trump. And while, she supposedly accepted the results, she went on mainstream media the next year to basically do what Trump did. She questioned the results of the elections. Y'all remember that? If you remember that, let me know. She even went as far as to say that Donald Trump was an illegitimate president. Now, I hope I'm ringing some bells here, right? So Donald Trump's memoir entitled, Clinton's memoir titled What Happened devoted an entire chapter to Russia, right? So as many of you guys probably remember, Clinton alleges that Russia interfered with the elections back then. And it almost seemed as if she was for sure, without a doubt, that it happened. Do you guys remember these wild allegations coming from Hillary Clinton? Yeah, she's like unhinged. Anyway, she even called Donald Trump the perfect Trojan horse for Vladimir Putin. Now, this has led a lot of critics to ask, when's the court date for Hillary Clinton, right? I mean, will she be held within the same standard that they've put on Donald Trump? And of course, just to kind of make it clear, a report from last year shows that the FBI rushed into an investigation against Russia and Trump without any kind of rationalized evidence. Where was the evidence? Right. And I'm just kind of opening up this entire thing with Clinton because we need to realize that it's very clear that things don't necessarily seem to be balanced when we're talking about Trump. Scott McKenzie says Hillary's a travel gate. Let's see. Diane Lockridge says that Hillary Clinton did not incite violence. Okay, I hear you. So are you suggesting that Donald Trump did incite violence? Just trying to understand where you're coming from on this one. TX Kicker, hey Ron, enjoy the time watching your videos. I really appreciate you. Absolutely. Thanks for being here with me on this live. So Chris Rotman says yes, the judge is weak. So yeah. Anyway, this is where we are here, guys. So basically, Clinton doesn't seem as though the same treatment is being applied to Trump as has been applied to Clinton, right? And meaning that if Democrats do it, it's okay. But if Trump does it, it's something he's got to go to court for. Does that make sense? Or at least that's the way it seems, right? And this is what a lot of experts are saying too. I mean, now getting back to Judge McAfee's order, he also said that the expressions that Donald Trump used in his speech are allegedly, they've been made to advance criminal activity. Many analysts don't necessarily agree with that because the idea is that Donald Trump was speaking his mind at the time, right? It was also a question for a lot of people since it can't be proven what Trump's real intentions were. And it's not like millions of Americans just suddenly did whatever they were told, right? Now, McAfee, he's also rejected a very similar First Amendment challenge from other defendants in the Georgia case. In fact, in the federal election interference case, the same argument was being made and then ultimately rejected by Judge Tanya Chutkan, saying that Trump's actions can't be considered protected political speech. And so this kind of works for the prosecutors because we know that DA Fani Willis wants this thing going as quickly as possible. The reasoning behind it is that she doesn't want to give Trump a chance in order to win the White House. Most of these cases, they've been openly showing that they're just being pushed so as to kind of keep Donald Trump from winning the presidency. There's an objective here, and they're not going to lose their focus. I think it's very clear at this point, right? So the same could be said for Attorney General Letitia James, right? Special Counsel Jack Smith. How about Attorney or District Attorney Alvin Bragg? So Trump's lead defense counsel, you got Steve Sadow. He jumped on X or Twitter to comment on Scott McAfee's order. And in a statement, Sadow respectfully disagreed with him, with Judge Scott McAfee with regards to this order. But he also said that they're going to keep evaluating their options, which could ultimately mean that they raise this particular case all the way up to the Supreme Court, just go way above Judge Scott McAfee's court. Just take it to the highest court in the land, basically, right? So this means that this case could further be delayed by months, maybe, right? Something that Fani Willis ain't gonna be all that happy about. But Fani Willis has been getting a lot of bad news lately, so we'll just go ahead and add that to Fani Willis's bad news list. And this is because it's still possible that Fani Willis could be removed from the case. Matter of fact, a petition was recently opened in order to have her disqualified. So did you guys hear about this petition? Like, people are literally petitioning. I'm waiting for riots in the streets almost, right? So the petition comes from the American Center for Law and Justice, and they're now urging the Georgia Court of Appeals to hear their plea. And I think they have somewhere around 43,000 signatures already, or at least the last time I checked, which is just about 7,000 signatures short of their goal. So, I mean, by now, for all I know, maybe they've already smashed that goal out the park, right? But speaking of which, Dwayne Johnson, also known as The Rock, you may have heard of him. Anyway, so The Rock recently dealt a smashing blow to President Joe Biden. 4 years ago, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, he endorsed President Biden. He jumped on social media platforms expressing his compassion, his heart, drive, and soul, right? He did the same thing for Kamala Harris. But what's really interesting is that this time around, The Rock, he's now saying he ain't giving them anything. Now, while granted, The Rock, he's not some big old political figure. He doesn't, let's just say that The Rock's endorsement may not necessarily carry any kind of political clout, right? And it's not a secret that the guy is incredibly popular, though, right? And there is something that he did say that could very well sway the minds of potentially millions of voters, right? So he basically said that he's not happy with the state of our country right now. Now, here you have The Rock, right? Dwayne Johnson, he's I don't know how much he's worth. I wouldn't be shocked if he's worth $500 million by now. I mean, he's made a lot of big movies. Seems like a pretty smart guy. Hopefully he's not, blowing off too much of his cash. Maybe, I don't know. But he's doing well. Let's just say that, right? So I don't know what The Rock's net worth is, right? But he basically said he's not happy with the state of our country. Now, this says a lot because this guy's not broke. This guy's okay. Thank you. Yuck Food Tube says 800 million. Thank you. Okay. So wait, what? So Dapper Dingo says The Rock went full-blown Fruity Pebbles and there is no turning back from that. What do you mean by that? Don't tell me The Rock did something crazy I don't know about. Oh man, not The Rock. Oh man, all these people coming out. I hope The Rock is not one of them. Diddy's coming out or got pulled out. You had R. Kelly. You had, just all these people coming out. Jim Bob, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Huge $20 super chat this Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening. It's almost midnight. Appreciate the love, Jim Bob. Oh man, but yeah, a lot of people coming out. Like, I'm trying to remember the other big name that came out this year. Hey, drop me some comments, guys. There's a lot of truth that's come out the last 6 months, but definitely in 2024. Drop some big names in the comment section of people who have come out. I know we got Diddy, who's hitting major headlines now. Let me know some other names that are getting exposed this year. And let me know if you want me to cover some of that exposure on future videos. I'd love to hear from you guys on that one. But getting back on topic, right? So The Rock, here he is, nearly a billionaire. He's basically saying that he's not happy with the state of our country. Now, he's not among the lower income who has, doesn't even have $1,000 to cover an unexpected emergency, right? He's the upper echelon here in America, and even he is not happy with the way the country's going. So this, it almost goes without saying that the average American's not happy either. But The Rock does believe that things can get better, right? He also said that he thought that he was making the right choice when he previously endorsed Biden. But this time around, he's going to just go ahead and keep his political thoughts to himself. So in short, The Rock is not, I'm willing to bet, he didn't say it or not, but I'm willing to bet The Rock is not going to be voting for President Joe Biden because America is now pretty much just a shell of what it used to be. So my question for you is, could it mean that he's going to be voting for Trump? Do you guys think that The Rock is going to vote for Trump? At least based on what he's saying. I mean, I can't be all that certain about that, but I think it's pretty easy to put the dots together that he's done with President Biden. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments. Kristen H, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Man, you guys, I appreciate the love this evening. I do appreciate the love. All right, so who do we have in here? So we got Matthew Pope. Wait, Fresh Prince. Are you saying that Will Smith came out today or came out this year recently? Got exposed for something? Kimberly Turner. Man, thank you so much for trying to rally the troops and get everyone to hit the like button. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Let's see, Rodman. Who has Tom Hanks been diddling? Wait. Are you telling me Tom Hanks is getting exposed too? Oh man. Let's see. All right, so Yuck Food Tube says that The Rock will vote Trump. He just won't admit it. That's very possible. Mind your business. What's going on from Montreal? I see you. We got Cash Ryan in the house. What's going on? Let's see. Chris Rotman says the Rock will vote Democrat. Well, it don't sound like he's happy with Biden, so I don't know if he's going to be voting for Biden. I guess the only other person that would be maybe borderline Democratic would be RFK Jr., right? Robert F. Kennedy Jr., maybe. Wait, so Beverly Charles says that Tom Hanks was on Epstein's Island. What's going on, Patrick Lund? Let's see. Andrew Gallardo says George Clooney. I hope you're wrong about that, Donna Kroom. Did you guys see what Donna Kroom said? That's a little bit concerning, guys. Yeah. Let's see. Oh man. So you guys are giving me some ideas here. I'm gonna have to look into some of these people that are coming out here that you're sharing with me, because this is kind of wild. Anyway, guys, we got about a little over 600 people in here. If you guys could take a second, just hit the like button for the video. Definitely goes a long way. And I want to thank you guys for subscribing and turning on your notification bells. That way, you know, as soon as we go live, as soon as we release new videos. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and drop off, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm already working on the next video, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. All right, take care.